much. So, but Rick, do you want to quickly
introduce?
Do you want to introduce yourself, and then I'll kick off the demo, or it's not a demo, a presentation.
Yes, thanks, Nicole, and thank you everyone for joining to hear about Shazamme and what we've done. So Nicole and I started Shazamme really after being in the industry for 14 years and seeing that we really, as a technology provider, didn't provide the best technology to the industry. Whilst we had lots of clients, we were frustrated by the lack of innovation, and we ourselves were really at the mercy of developers to build fantastic solutions. So what we did is we reinvented the concept of career sites and recruitment websites, and as you'll see today, we really made it something that anyone today could use, and really anyone in the world can build their own career site or recruitment website if they wanted to, using our technology. So over to you, Nicole.
Cool, thank you. And I'm assuming my screen is sharing.
Yes, it is.
It is, Nicole. Nicole, I just want to say one thing. So first of all, we appreciate you all being here. You may have detected an accent. It is what, 3 or 4 in the morning where you all are at in Australia. So thank you for being awake and joining us today.
My pleasure, absolute pleasure. And lovely to meet everyone and have everyone here. As Rick mentioned, we've got a real passion for website technology, specifically for recruitment. That is all we do. And after many years of, as Rick said, being frustrated by the restraints that our customers were facing around having to, edit, update code to build websites, and the frustrations around support on that, lodging tickets because you need something updated from an RPO perspective, having to reach out to tech or to marketing to be able to make a few small changes on your brand just is so archaic in this day and age that after using platforms like Canva, where everything's drag and drop and easy to use, and why can't an RPO quickly drum up a one-page landing page with a job board on it because they need to recruit baristas in New York, or they want to recruit legal representatives with in a particular category, being able to slice and dice the job boards and things like that. So we started with a blank sheet of paper. And we scoped out, if we were going to build the best recruitment website technology, what are all the problems that we've seen across the world dealing with startups, through to corporate organizations and talent teams, through to the likes of your Kellys and your Adecos and your Manpowers across the globe, and lots of other brands as well. And we put together Shazamme. We now have over 200 clients across the globe. We're lucky enough to have RPOs using our technology and loving it, because it's so easy to deploy. I've kept today's session a bit more educational, as well as a little bit about Shazamme. And there is so much to go through that I had like 20 minutes, and I'm thinking there is no way that I can do this justice. So everything that we're going to run through today here that we have seen will make a difference to a brand's success online is all things that we easily solve. So we're very open to conversations, regardless of whether you use this or not, to help you sort of master some of these things that will make a big difference to your success for yourselves, but also for your clients. So thank you for joining us. So a little bit of a rundown and some of these crossover as we run through. We're going to look at the RPO website tech landscape, just very briefly talk through that, and how can you deliver innovative solutions to your clients. And I'll just admit that person. Innovative solutions is something that we know from your perspective, you need to be better than what your clients are. So when you walk through that door, you need a tech stack that they go, oh, wow, how have they put this together and how they've solved so many of my problems. That's going to be a big differentiator in the success of an RPO and why you're different to others. And then we're going to talk a little bit about data and tracking and analyzing, because this is so important. We see a lot of people spending a lot of money on trying to attract talent to a brand, but then not really being able to understand where did the actual results come from? And we've just spent a fortune on an advertising campaign, but we actually got all our leads off Facebook. So talk a little bit about how you can do that. And there are extra slides in this deck that we will send you, and you can run through and have a look at as well. Okay, so looking at the RPO website landscape, we really look at this. It's time to modernize. It's time to improve experiences, not only for your clients, but also anyone you've got on the ground for working for your business in those organizations. So what I'll talk you through in a second and show you an example is something that's often missed when you're building out a brand on a website, and how to create great experiences for talent. And that's so important at the moment, as we all know, talent short market, especially in a lot of very hard to fill areas. So the architecture, the layout of the site, do you have an ecosystem within a brand to be able to support that perfect candidate experience from the minute they find that brand to the minute they apply for that job? And how easy is that? I do highly recommend that everyone gets out their mobile device and attempts and pretends that they're a candidate using the brand that you're either pitching to get business to, or their current experience, or even internally your own experiences on your own websites. How quick and easy is it for you to search for a job and apply on a mobile device? That should take, a minimum of 2 clicks to get from the front page of a website or a landing page to the jobs to click apply. Some things to be thinking about: jobs on a map. Now, a lot of jobs at the moment are remote, and part of what we've done as well is bring in a remote category for jobs so that people can easily see what jobs are actually work remote. But if the jobs need to be at a physical address, jobs on a map have been amazing for people, because people can literally see where those jobs are without having to search. We're going to look at QR codes and how you can be using them now. And it's very easy to do that, and we'll talk through it. Building landing pages. This is one that has been highly successful for our clients, building landing pages and campaign pages that you can then use for purpose. And we'll look a little bit at the SEO of a recruitment website or a corporate careers site, and understand what those opportunities are to get that brand appearing for the search terms that you want to appear for. And we'll talk a little bit, and I'll show you a quick snippet of Shazamme and how our platform is going to make it so much easier for people to implement and provide solutions from a website perspective very quickly, cost efficiently, and more importantly, something that evolves with them. And communication platform. I'll talk quickly to this because I didn't put an actual physical slide on this. There is now the ability for clients to be able to log in to a platform. So your companies that you're working with to be able to log in to a platform, to be able to see the jobs that are outstanding, the shortlisted candidates against those job openings, the potential to make comments against those candidates that have resumes on there, and also move someone from submitted on a Kanban board through to approved. So just speeding up that hire process so that we don't lose anyone during the journey. And, one stat that I think is so relevant for people to remember, 90% of job seekers start that job search on a mobile device. So you need to be mobile first. Okay. So from an RPO website perspective, we mentioned this, it's got to be quick to deploy. You need to be able to make edits and changes and evolve that RPO offering for the client that you've got. And, cost effectively, we want to do this so that it doesn't cost a fortune. And that tech stack that you're using for websites should be continuously evolving with the market and the opportunities. So we do look at that every day. We're doing releases to our platform. And the awesome thing with what we've created is when you make a change to a recruitment website, and what you'll see in a minute is we use widgets. So it's not hard coded. Any one of us on this call, I could never build a website before. You just drag and drop things onto a page, and we're updating those continuously with client feedback. So think about no code just means that the code gets written once, and once it's written, it goes out to all of your or all of our clients automatically. you shouldn't be having to come to a website provider and say, oh, how come this company's got this feature and we don't have it yet? You should be able to easily implement these things yourself because the technology is updated in the background without you even being aware, and then you get notified that this awesome release has been made and you can utilize it. Tracking, so important, as I mentioned before, to track your conversion metrics. Where did somebody come from to literally end up applying for that job? Integrations often get missed. We see lots of opportunities with third-party integrations with technology platforms. We see a lot of complexities as well, where corporates or employers might have multiple database platforms, but there's no way to connect them to the website. If you do have any complexities with this, we can actually absorb multiple feeds from multiple platforms and present those feeds in a job board so that the user experience is exactly the same across all those different platforms, which is really important. And lots of other things we can do with integration. So if you've got any problems that you need solved at the moment, please just have a chat, because often there's a solution there that's quite easy to achieve. Search engine optimization, depending on your RPO and how you're sitting with your employers or within the employer, whether it's a long-term opportunity or a short-term opportunity, we do recommend that you set up the ideal site architecture for that brand so that there's search engine optimization. People can find your careers site very quickly. And ideally, technology that's built for recruitment. So we toyed about, do we use WordPress? What do we use as a foundation for our technology platform? And because WordPress notoriously has been extremely difficult to use, you often have to engage another person to be able to edit and update. We wanted to build something that was totally focused on recruitment and making easy for talent teams, recruiters to edit and update their website. And 24/7 chat support's been something that's been really a game changer. Being able to just chat and get an answer to a question on how to edit, update, or create on your website has been a bit of a no-brainer, and highly secure. So this is the very quick demo that I've got here of how easy our tech is to use. You can see on the left-hand side, it's all widget-based. There's 160 of them. You drag and drop them onto a page. So the search widget, you can actually customize exactly what you want it to represent. And this can be dragged onto any page that you will see that in a moment. The great thing with this tech, you can either upload your own imagery, videos, or we have a massive stock library of things that you can be using in the background. And we can deploy these within weeks rather than within months, often when you're trying to build a website. Mobile devices, now you need to think about mobile as almost a separate entity from a desktop. So we allow customization of your mobile experience. So you can remove things that you might not want on the mobile device, but want on a desktop. Creating landing pages. So this is pop-ups, so you can have different pop-ups, but landing pages. So if you quickly, as an example before, we need baristas in New York or for a particular brand, you can actually just grab all those assets. If you wanted to, build this out really quickly and easily yourself, drop in a job board, drop in a video of the place they're going to be working, and build out these landing pages that can also be locked down. So if you had a secret role for a CFO for McDonald's and it was, you're creating this landing page for this job specifically, you can actually lock it down. So if you were to share this URL or link to this page through LinkedIn, you could ask people if they're interested in knowing more about a great CFO opportunity. And if they are, you could send them the passcode to then be able to get into this page and go, oh my gosh, this job is amazing. It's with McDonald's. So being able to create, like we're showing you here, job boards on the fly so that you can say only show jobs of a particular category or subcategory, or a job by keyword might be the word Christmas. It's a Christmas campaign page for jobs for Christmas. So you can really build these out and you've got total control over exactly, what you're creating and editing and updating. Over the right-hand side, I'm not sure if I showed that, but there's communication opportunities on the right over on this plus button here, that when we're working with a client, they can come in and comment and say, could you change the color to blue, or could you update this? You can also use that particular button to communicate internally with your team to get approvals to do things to a website or a page. I will stop for questions, just because if people haven't had a chance, and if there was anything in particular that you would like to ask there. Or we can wait till the end.
Nicole, I do have a question for you. This is Joe. Who are typically the users of your platform, of your software?
Great question. So recruitment agencies, corporates themselves, so employers, and now we've got quite a lot of RPOs because as you can see, deploying, updating, editing, creating these pages we can do very quickly. So here's a good example. This one here is Fujitsu. That's run from an RPO RGF out of the APAC region, where we've implemented 3 Fujitsu careers sites or pages or ecosystems, really, so that they can then use these to direct talent to, and also, get great traction in the market when people have a great user experience.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, anything to do with recruitment. So the education
Nicole,
piece that I just...
Sorry to interrupt. I think Patty has a question for you as well.
Yeah, Nicole, great explanation you have. Is there version control? Let's say somebody went in and, made a change and all of a sudden, oh, I got to get that back. How is that handled?
That is a fantastic question. I'll pay you later. Yes. Yeah, definitely. So that was one of my frustrations as well. Sometimes you press the button and go, what have I done? And the whole, no more. So that was one of the things that we wanted to make sure too. So the great thing with this tech is it's constantly taking backups. So every time the site's republished and you actually make a conscious decision to republish the site, it takes a full backup. So you can always revert back. And so that makes a big difference. But there's also the back button. So if you did do something and you didn't like it, you can go back. But there's constant version control. So there's been a lot of times clients have gone in and done things and then been able to revert back very easily. Yeah. Hopefully that answers the question. Anyone else, or I continue on? No. So I won't run through all of this. A lot of people don't actually understand the complexity behind a recruitment website or what should be behind it, especially from a jobs perspective. Your job should be the most important piece of your SEO. The thing that you are about is jobs. At the end of the day, you're fulfilling placements, and there's a lot of opportunity with SEO that's often missed, but just simple things, make it easy for people to apply. We can, and we have with some different clients often need a lot of screening questions done, and we can do that. But obviously a recommendation at the moment where it's talent short market, let people quickly apply and then ask them to fill in all those questions that you need answered. Simple things like job alerts and similar jobs, people that looked at this also looked at these, can really increase conversion rates. Excuse me. So for RPOs, it really, we mentioned it before, but deliver innovative solutions. And that's why I love, when I was speaking and found out about iCoco, it's just like, it's amazing because no one's really bringing together technology platforms that can solve problems for people across the globe in the same industry. And I love what the team are doing there. So be thinking about landing pages, and I'll run through that in a moment. Think about QR codes. Chat functionality also is aiding conversions very much so, where depending on the demographic, people love to chat and get an instant answer in response. And we mentioned before, your job's on a map and all the rest. An example of a landing page that a client has done. So landing pages can be used for lots of different things. So for instance, if we did a website for a RPO provider, they could easily drum up landing pages within their own brand for their clients. They can remove their header and their footer so that they can create those landing pages themselves. However, that is still going to sit on your URL / the company name. We can also provide websites in a smaller version if it's wanted, where we slot them directly into a corporate or employer brand, match it so no one would know the difference, so that it's a seamless experience all the way through, that then allows the RPO team to be able to take control and operate under that brand's name and create landing pages. So they can be built for all different purposes. We do recommend that you create an ecosystem that is within your website. So if you're looking for baristas, you have a barista area. If you're looking for administration jobs, you have an administration jobs page with all the jobs in administration there, and you build these pages out. Campaign pages, rather than always asking people to apply for a job, ask them to register their interest and create experiences where people land and they feel like they belong and it makes sense to be there. Landing pages can be built out in minutes. Once you've built these landing pages, if it makes sense in the RPO environment you're working in, QR codes are so easy now. You build an amazing landing page. Great thing with our tech, once you've built one, you can copy it and create as many of them as you want or create new ones. QR codes can be on vehicles. They can be on, anything that you want them to be. We've had people ask about putting them on receipts and within posters within shopping centers or shops. So once you create a page, you just right click it and turn it into a QR code, and you can use that anywhere. We use it for events all the time. It's really good. Chatbots, there's a bit more further information in this deck that's hidden about the different chatbots. But I do think, considering chatbots, whether it's human to human or to start with, so that people get that instant response, if it makes sense, is making big differences to conversions. Tracking and analyzing the data, really important that you know what's converting. We do have further information on this, but for instance, now what we can track, and it was a constant frustration for a lot of clients, you do a campaign on Facebook or you share some content on Facebook, you can track when that person comes back, but then it's lost if they travel around the website. So what we wanted to do is be able to track, even though they might have gone and looked at 5 jobs, that it can still, or even looked at pages within the website environment, that traffic can still be attributed to that click that occurred on Facebook. So you can really start to see what's truly working rather than having to guess all the time. It's not only Facebook, it's all other platforms as well. So tracking that is so important. A/B split testing, what's working, what's not, create 2 or 3 and see which one gets the best traction, and then being able to manage it all through a central dashboard so it's clear and concise. Bit more on here, I won't run through it, but there's lots of articles that you'll be able to access from here as well. Mistakes and keeping up. So I think it's really what we've seen is not supporting clients in a modern way, thinking using technology or being a technologist is so important now. You don't want to miss opportunities and be reactive, be proactive, be doing things differently to help your clients be more successful and yourselves. And technology driven, we've spoken about evolving and having a tech stack that's so well integrated and is continuously evolving together can make your business just so much more successful. So there's Rick and I, and we love talking everything to do with success for recruitment technology and websites specifically. And, we'd love to help you guys. There we go. I have no idea how I went with time there. So apologies if I ran over.